I want to highlight Earn Your Leisure's InvestFest 2025, which is going to be amazing. I'm going to make one of these joints. 1 year, you better believe that. Earn Your Leisure. Earn Your Leisure is an authentic financial literacy for Black and urban communities, found by Rashad Bilal and Troy Millings. Earn Your Leisure started as a financial literacy podcast. Shout out to small beginnings and you building your skill set. Now it's a multi-million-dollar company, and it's for the culture, and it's for the culture. They're democratizing wealth knowledge. They're expanding it into a full ecosystem. So they have the podcast network, online university, merged private equity, and live events, including InvestFest. And I think this will be their third InvestFest. And it's basically like it's finance meets culture meets entertainment, right? So it's a 3-day event, a 3-day Atlanta festival. So maybe it's in Atlanta. I saw a piece of content that they posted where they were in some stadium in Africa. So I'm not sure if it's going to be in Africa this year or if it'll be in Atlanta. Atlanta probably makes more sense because, people can go to Atlanta or in Atlanta. They had different speakers like Steve Harvey, Magic Johnson, Jack Dorsey, Issa Rae, cats that we know like 19 Keys, some cats that you may not know, that you got to be sort of like deeper in the culture to know, the significance of these people. But they've had a bunch of people in the past, and they're going to have more people here at InvestFest 2025. There's going to be 25,000 attendees with vendors, pitch competition, scholarships, deal room, investor access, right? There's going to be direct diaspora engagement. This year's InvestFest is zeroing in on global African connection, a Ghana raffle, free trip as a cultural bridge. So they're spending time on the continent, sort of bridging the gap between, the diasporans, people in America, people in the Caribbean, people on the continent, and everything in between, right? Which I think is important. And again, they're bringing financial literacy to the culture, from the culture, of the culture, for the culture, right? There's going to be real access to capital and skills, $125,000 pitch competition, and $25,000 grants up to 5 and up to 5 up and coming entrepreneurs, right? They've got a bunch of investors. This is important for the culture to sort of, again, these are educators, right? These are Black educators educating the culture, because I think it's important for our children to see potential, to be exposed to things. We talk about this when I'm working with the kids, is exposure is important, even if you may not have the ability to have like a direct exposure, meaning like you can go somewhere else and do something, or you have access to a program or something like that. Even if it's just social media, exposing your mind to things outside of your circle, I think is important, but with the Black consciousness in mind, not to just be like, all right, I'm going to get away from this environment as I can. And I get it, because some hood shit and the dysfunction that we see in our community could be studied, right? But we understand where a lot of this comes from, this interference. But what I'm saying is, exposure to these things can open up worlds for you, right? To where it's like, okay, instead of always thinking I got to become a basketball player, football player, rapper, or something like that, entertainer, what if I became an investor? What if I became an entrepreneur? What if I became a business person, right? What if I became a speaker, right? There's so many other things that we can do and be dominant at as people from the diaspora. And I think movements like this are important for kids to be like, oh, I can do that. That's a possibility. I think that's super impactful, and that's something that's going to move the culture forward. Why does this matter for the African diaspora? Cultural reconnection. By spotlighting Ghana and connecting diaspora over shared heritage, InvestFest fosters identity and purposeful bridge building. Capital and knowledge flow, like understanding finances, shifting economic narratives, right? Role modeling and inspiration, which I just, unpacked a little bit, and cultural shaping via experience. It's important, right? So, if you're a Pan-Africanist, if you're somebody that believes in, shifting the culture, looking at our report card, taking inventory, seeing, where we could have done better, let's do better moving forward. And stuff like this is important for us to invest into. so that we continue to build this unstoppable momentum.